Is it the right time to buy Bitcoin, XRP, XLM, some of these cryptos that have dropped really far in the last couple of weeks? Is it the right time to be buying them? Or should we wait a little bit? I thought I'd do a little crypto market analysis for you and give you my opinions, and hopefully that will help you as you make up some of your decisions in the coming days as well. All right, as soon as we get to the disclaimer, we're going to talk about all of that. Let's go. Hello, everybody. It's Jeremy Whaley here from Trade Maestro. Hope you're doing fantastic today. You can find us over at trademaestro.com. I want to do a little quick market update specifically for crypto. Crypto's been very active lately, and especially about a week ago, had some really big moves. A lot of people think once the market goes down that it's time to buy. Is it always the right time to buy? Well, how do you know? I'm going to show you some of those things right now as we take a look over here at the chart. So what you're seeing over here is my Bitcoin chart, and I'm going to just kind of orient you a little bit here in case you haven't followed what I've done or ever seen this kind of analysis. What you're seeing here is you're seeing some lines on the chart. These are called support and resistance lines. These are basically our targets. So our previous target was right up here, which is where we traded to, and we were set up for that move. Look at that. Look at that. It's hard to believe we were set up for that, but we were. Before the big selling came in, you see this little white line? That was actually our trigger. That's where we said we would get into the trade because we want to trade with the momentum in the right direction here. And our target is actually right here. I don't have a line there, but we're gonna remedy that right now. Our previous swing low is our target on that. Let me scoot that up just a scotch. There you go. So our target for Bitcoin before it stops falling, at a minimum, we're looking for it to go to about 25,300. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I've had on my Telegram group some people saying they feel like they're in a hurry, they got to buy it while it's cheap. Well, what if it's about to be cheaper? Right now, Bitcoin is currently at 25,865. I mean, it's moving, but it's probably, I do believe it's going to be down here at 25,300, but even just because we get there doesn't mean it's time to buy. And I know this is not the philosophy that most people have, but let me tell you how I think about it. You see, most people have been indoctrinated with this idea that you want to buy on the dip and you want to sell whenever it goes high. And in a general idea, that is correct, kind of. Okay, you want to buy low and sell high. But a Forex trader taught me years ago, probably like 15 years ago, taught me a tip, a trick, if you will. And it transformed everything in my trading. Because here's what I would do. What I would do is I would get into a trade, and it might be a good trade. So I'd get in right here, let's say. And as soon as I got into it, it would kind of go up, and then it would come down, and it would fizzle and fazzle. And then eventually it would maybe go higher and maybe go lower. How many of you have ever experienced that, where you buy something and as soon as you get into it, it maybe goes the direction you want it to go, or maybe goes the opposite direction, but it doesn't really seem to have any momentum when you get into it. And sometimes you sit there and you hold it and nothing happens. Well, what this Forex trader taught me is he said, buy on the uptick. Instead of trying to buy at the cheapest price, buy as it's moving higher, after it's broken out of all the patterns and while it has momentum. And I know you're paying more for it when you do that, but here's what happens. What happens when you buy on the uptick, and I'm going to show you briefly how we do that, or I should say I'm going to show you in a moment how we do that. What happens when you buy on the uptick is you're buying a trade that's moving in the momentum of the direction you want to go. So instead of buying in and immediately it just stagnates and does nothing, what happens is you're buying a trade that's already moving and you're jumping on the moving train. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you really care if you buy an asset at, say, 25,000 and you ride it up to 27,000 and you get out? Or are you just as happy to buy it at 27,000 and ride it to 30,000 and get out? Well, the second one is actually a better trade. You made more money on it. Dollar for dollar, you made more money. But what we do in our minds as humans, part of trading psychology here, is we think, oh, because it's cheaper, I need to buy it there. When in reality, what we need to do is we need to buy where the most momentum is happening. Let's come back to our chart here and let me show you what I'm talking about. See, what most people would do is they try to buy right here, and then much to their chagrin, it might go higher or it might do this. And now suddenly we're sitting down here at 22,000 and you're freaking out and you sell it. And as soon as you sell it, what do you think happens? Of course it goes up because it's the market and it's out to get you. No, it's because you didn't buy in the direction of momentum. You see what you need to do, this is what I have found works really well. And you can see several of my trades that have been set up along here. We had one back here for Bitcoin that was set up to enter up here after it moved in that direction, okay? We're not buying it down here. In fact, we started the trade back here and we stopped out of the trade and then we re-enter over here. And we ended up getting in around 28,000 for that trade and then trading that one up to 31,000. Okay. Now I'll get into risk reward and some of those other things in some other videos, but I just want you to see what we're doing here. You see right in here, this is one of those stagnant moments where, in this case, the crypto, the Bitcoin stopped moving and it didn't move really for 2 weeks. It was doing nothing for 2 weeks. It was going nowhere. A lot of people thought that was the dip. A lot of people purchased right there. And if they did that, then they were paying 29,000. Okay. The very next thing that happened was what? It dropped down. And now we're looking at 25,000. Because here's what I learned from that Forex trader. What I learned is just before it sells off really big, what does it look like? It looks exactly the same way that you think it should look right before it goes up. Does that make any sense to you? Let me show you on the chart. You see, you're buying, or maybe you're not, but most people, they're buying here thinking that it's going to go up. And what they're thinking to themselves is, oh, I'm buying the dip. Look, it came down really, really low. Well, guess what it does right before it sells off to 22,000? It also looks the exact same way. Because what this is, this little point that I'm circling, that's not a signal to buy. What that is that's what we call a pivot point. That's the decision point. That's where the people who are trading, in this case, Bitcoin, but this works for stocks, it works for futures, Forex, crypto, everything you're trading, okay? What happens at this pivot point is it's almost like a mile marker. Have you ever traveled across the country and you get to a rest stop and you're like, well, let's pull over. And then maybe you look at the map and you either say, yeah, we're on the right track, let's keep going, or you know what, we missed our exit, we better turn around. It's like a place to stop. That's what this is. It's a pivot point. And whenever a trade gets to a pivot point, you don't actually know which way it's going to go. It could go either way. The odds of this going up versus down are exactly 50-50 at this point. Whereas if you wait for it to either drop below that pivot point and continue in a bearish momentum, or whether you wait for it to break out and head higher, now you move the needle. No longer is it 50-50. Now it suddenly becomes more like 60-40, 70-30, sometimes 80-20 probability that it's moving in your direction, just simply because you waited and let the momentum confirm for you. Does that make sense? So I personally think this is not the time to buy Bitcoin. I think what we need to do is we need to wait. Number one, I'd like to see it hit my target, because anytime that a trade hits my target, I feel like it's done. I feel like at least it's completed the cycle. Okay, so we're still a little bit low. Now, it doesn't have to, but I would like to see it hit our target down here about 25,300. When it hits that target, I'd like to see it make a turn. And ideally, I probably want to see it at this point get above this next pivot area, which is around 27,000, which means I'm probably not going to consider buying Bitcoin until about 27,500. Yes, I know it's 2,500 points higher. I know that. But here's what's going to happen. Let me show you the way this is going to go. If you approach this the way the average person approaches it, you're going to buy in here. Let's just say you buy right now at 25,000. Well, what is the current price? 25,800. Okay, let's say you buy right now at 25,800. 25,800. And then now you're sitting here. It's a 50-50 chance. You don't know if it's going up. You don't know if it's going down yet because it hasn't told you. Trading behavior hasn't told you yet. Okay, so let's just say, unfortunately, this thing comes tumbling down. Here's my question. When it gets to 22, are you holding or are you jumping ship? Because that's 3,800 points to the downside. 3,800. There's no way it can go to 22. Oh, yes, there is. Yeah. Trust me. The market doesn't really care what you think. Market's going to do what the market's going to do. Your job is to just ride the train and capture the best profits you can, okay? So let's say it drops to 22,000. Are you going to hold, hodl, hold on for dear life? Or are you going to bail in a panic? Let's say it doesn't stop at 22. What if it goes back to 19? Or what if it goes back to the next support is down here around 17,000, 16.5 roughly? What if it goes all the way back down here? Okay, now you see what happened? You're 10,000 points almost below where you got into this trade. Are you going to hold? You going to hodl? Hold on for dear life. Or are you going to sell in a panic? Most people at one of these stopping points or somewhere in the middle will give up and they'll sell in a panic. And the very time that they're actually hitting the bottom, they're too afraid to jump in. That's why most people end up losing with crypto. Okay, that's option one. Option two, you wait. You get in up here at 27,500, we'll say. Okay, I know it's roughly 2,000 points higher. Let's make it exactly 2,000 higher. We'll say 27.8. Okay, so it's exactly 2,000 points higher. So we get it at 27,800, and then when we do that, though, it's already established, it's broken out of all the resistance points, and there's not much left to hold it back, and we trade up to our previous pivot, which is around 31,000. And statistically, here's the thing. Statistically, if you start buying now at 25,800, you're 50-50. You don't know if it's going up, you don't know if it's going down. It might go up, you might be rewarded. It might go down. You might get unrewarded. I don't know. It's 50-50. But if you buy in the direction of the momentum, your percentage of probability just shifts over and it moves somewhere between 60 to 80% most of the time. Sometimes it could be 90%, but usually it's somewhere in the 60 to 80% of the time it's going to do what you want. So you move the odds in your direction, okay? Now let's say that we bought in at 27.8 and we get to 31. What are you going to do? You're going to sell? You're going to hodl? Well, it's a lot better decision, isn't it? It's a lot better to make the decision when you're sitting on a $3,000 profit than it is when you're sitting on a $3,000 to $5,000 or $8,000 or $10,000 loss, right? It's a lot easier to make that decision. And maybe you get to 31,000 and you say, I'm just going to hodl. I'm going to hold it. Or maybe you say, I'm going to take my profit. But you see, it's a much happier position to be taking that from because you bought in the direction and in the momentum of the trade. Now, let's go one step further. You see all my little green boxes here with little red boxes. What are the red boxes? The red boxes are what we call our stop. That's the actual amount of risk we're going to take. If I took this trade at 27,800, I'm going to put a stop down here right around 26,400. So what that does is it tells me if I get down to this price, I'm out. I'm going to stop. I'm going to get out before I feel pain. Now, I know that's a little bit of pain, but I'd rather have $1,400 worth of pain than $10,000 worth of pain. You see, I will never hold through that long bearish trend. I'm out way earlier. And that's why I don't have these 50 and 80% fluctuations that people complain about, because I don't hold through the bear market. I get out. As soon as it reverses, I get out. You say, well, how do I know? How do I know when to get in and when to get out? Well, first of all, there's a little tool here that you see. It's called moving averages. And once we start dropping below that, which we did way back here, I can't get my pen to work. There we go. We started dropping below it right back here. When we did that, I'm out. I'm not doing that. And in the same way, when we move above those moving averages like we did here, you can see that, that's when the signal starts saying, yeah, okay, it's time. It's time to start loading up. So right now, would I buy Bitcoin right now today? Today is August 22nd, 2023. Would I buy it? No, I wouldn't. We are below the moving averages. The averages are not going in our favor. The averages are very, very bearish. Okay. We're actually still in a bearish swing with our next target still a couple hundred points away. And I have absolutely no reason to think this thing's going up tomorrow. Now, I can have a bias. I can say, hey, I think it's going up, but that doesn't tell me anything. This tells me what's happening. My theory, my bias doesn't matter. The market does not care one bit what I think. What matters is what's actually happening, and the chart tells us everything. So you can see it right there, okay? So my forecast for Bitcoin right now, I wouldn't be buying it. If you want to short it, it's too late. I wouldn't be shorting it either. I wouldn't be doing anything other than if you happen to be in a bearish trade, if you happen to be with a broker or dealer that lets you short crypto, you're coming into a target. I'd be taking profit if you were short crypto right now, okay? Or if you're short Bitcoin. But if you're looking at buying it, I don't think it's the right time to buy. It's just we don't have the signals for that yet. And it's, frankly, you have just as much chance of losing 5, 10, 15,000 as you, well, maybe not 15,000. I don't think I see it going down to 10, but You have just as much opportunity for this trade to go down as you do for it to go up where it is right now. So do you want lower probabilities or do you want higher probabilities? You pay a little bit more, but you get higher probabilities of success. That's usually what I do. Let's take a look over here at Ethereum. Let's just look at Ethereum really fast. Oh, it's the same thing. Now notice what happened with Ethereum. This is a great example. I didn't set this up, but this is perfect. Notice that we dropped below our pivot point right here. And where did we trade to? We traded right to our next pivot point. Okay, it's my purple line. And it hung out for about a week. And a lot of people started buying. A lot of people were buying Ethereum there at 1680, thinking that Ethereum is going to go higher. And look at what it did. As of today, boom, it's going down. Guess where Ethereum's going, folks? Unless something reverses very quickly in the next 48 hours probably, this trade is most likely heading down all the way to this next purple line. You say, how bad is that next purple line? 1440. I would not be one bit surprised. Actually, I might be a little surprised now that I look at it. Let's add another support in here, right there. Yeah. All right, I take that back. 1440 is a target, but my first target on here is going to be about 1540. So this move that you see happening with Ethereum right now, this move is actually a momentum move down to 1540. I expect before Ethereum goes higher, we'll be at 1540. Maybe I'm wrong. It happens. That's why we trade with stops. We always manage risk. That's an important thing, to manage your risk, okay? Just in case you fall in that statistical possibility that it doesn't trade with momentum. It doesn't continue that momentous move. But more often than not, if you buy a trade in the direction of momentum, you're going to have much higher probabilities of this trade working out for you, okay? Let's look at XRP because everybody's all excited about XRP. Is it the right time to buy XRP? Look, I hope you love it. I hope you and XRP get married. Is it the right time to buy? No. Sorry. Don't hate me. Don't hate the messenger. Don't hate the analyst. I'm just telling you. I told people when we were up here it was heading back down, and they hated me then. Well, that was at 70 cents. Some people had thousands of these. So can you imagine having thousands of XRP at 70 cents and now it's sitting down here in the mid 50s? Yeah, that's like, well, off the top of my head, that's like what, 15, 20% drawdown? And look at moving averages. They're moving bearish, and look at where we traded to back to what we call the 10-period moving average, and it's continuing. I bet in the next 2 weeks we're back in the mid 40s. So you can buy right now. You can buy it at 53. I don't care. But the odds are XRP is going to see 45, I bet, in the next 2 weeks. Okay? So we don't want to buy. I don't want to buy against the trend. You can do it. I don't care. It's up to you. I'm just teaching you how I approach it. You can decide if that works for you. I don't want to fight the trend. I want to buy in the direction of the trend. Let's look at XLM really fast. This is one that everybody was so excited about. By the way, I sold. I didn't tell anybody. I sold back here. I sold literally the day that it doubled. Okay. I sold back here, and you see where XLM is heading now. So this XLM went June 16th. We were about 8 cents, and a month and a half, 2 months later, at one point we hit 18 cents. I didn't get out at 18. Okay. I got out about 16 and a half, I think. Okay. I did not get out at the very top. And by the way, you almost never do. So don't think you can. Okay. You almost never do. But here's where XLM is right now. This is Stellar Lumen. And, oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. You see, this is a candlestick formation. I won't get into the details of it, but I highly expect, I anticipate XLM will be 10 cents in the next week, maybe 2 weeks. I could be wrong. Nothing's 100% in the market, okay? But the probability on this trade getting to 10 cents as opposed to heading up from here, it's probably about an 80 to 90% chance it's heading to 10 cents before it goes higher. Okay, so if you're looking at buying some XLM, well, why don't we wait till it gets down to 10 cents and makes a turn? That helps. Why do you say, why should I wait for it to make a turn? Well, what if it comes down to 10 cents and you start buying at 10 cents and it's not done and it comes on down to 8 cents? Well, there's another 20%. What if it's not done at 8 cents and it comes on down to 7.5 cents? I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking, I saw that YouTube video. I saw it. This thing's going to go to the moon. I'm going to buy in. 10 cents is cheap. It doesn't matter. And then next thing you know, you're down 20, 30, 40%. And you're like, what happened? How'd this happen? Because you're buying on the wrong philosophy. You can't buy just because some YouTube guy says you got to buy XLM. You can't do it just because some people on Twitter said you got to buy XRP and XLM or else, you're going to miss out and miss the boat. You can't do that. You got to use logic here, okay? So here's what we're looking for XLM. And I like XLM a lot, by the way. I've traded a lot of XLM over the years. When it gets to 10 cents, if it makes the turn, I'll probably buy at 11. That's the truth, okay? So when we get to 10 cents and make the turn, you say, well, that's not much cheaper than we are right now. No, it's not. It's not much cheaper. But the difference is right now I have about a 20% probability that this trade goes higher. If I wait until it hits 10 cents and turns up, I have about an 80% chance that it goes higher. Do I want to buy this thing at 12 cents and falling with a 20% chance that it goes higher? Or do I want to buy this thing at 11 cents and rising with an 80% chance that it goes higher? I'll take the second one every time, okay? Now, what if it trades to 10 cents and keeps falling? If it trades to 10 cents and keeps falling, I do nothing. I get my eyes down here at 8 cents. And I say, okay, when it gets to 8 cents, does it make the turn? Does it hit 8 cents and bounce and turn higher? If it says no, then I look at 7.5 cents. You say, there's no way it could be 7.5 cents. I know. I heard those videos too. I heard them too. What if I told you I started buying XLM when they gave it to me for free on Coinbase? I'd never heard of it. They gave it to me for free on Coinbase. I rode this entire journey. Okay? I got out up here in the mid 40s. And then I started buying more. Okay? I trade. That's the way people need to approach the crypto market. Crypto is a great, great opportunity. But if you just buy and hodl, what ends up happening is when all this excited public participation is happening over here, people start buying. I mean, I got clients that did this. They put in thousands of dollars when XLM was 40 cents. And now they're sitting here holding it at 10 cents. And they're like, I can't believe I'm down 75 cents, 75%. And they're like, I can't believe I'm down 75%. And this thing's just not coming back. I thought this was going to go to the moon. I thought this was the big one. It's a great crypto. They're all great. All cryptos present opportunities, but your timing is the critical aspect. Okay. So I hope this is helpful for you. If you like this type of analysis, be sure to check us out over at trademaestro.com because this is what we do there. If you're following this channel, you've never subscribed to it, then you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't talk a lot about crypto on here. I'm starting to talk more about it. I think we're done with the crypto winter. I will say that. I think we're done with that. I think there's a lot of opportunity here, but timing-wise, it's still a little bit wonky. Public perception is not quite ready to take this thing to the moon yet. So you're going to have more volatility. And if you're okay with that, if you like buying in, seeing it go up 30% and down 60%, if that makes you happy, go for it. I don't care. It's your money. It's your emotions. But if you want to trade it the way that I trade and the way that we trade stocks, the way we trade options, futures, Forex, it's all the same. Once you learn how to trade the momentum of a swing, that's it. Okay. And I'm not talking about day trading here. I'm talking about swing trading. When you get in, when the swing is moving, and if it's a 9-month trend, then you stay with the trend for 9 months. If it's a 9-day trend, you stay with it for 9 days and you get out. You just adapt to what the market is doing. That's how you make money trading. There's nothing wrong with the crypto market. People say crypto is terrible. They say it's in a crypto winter and you can't make money with crypto. That is not true. That is not true. Crypto is providing great opportunity. In fact, outside of stock options, crypto maybe is really the only place that you can get that kind of ROI so quickly, okay? Because it's not that hard to get a 50 to 100% return on your trade or more within a relatively short window, but you have to do it with the right timing, okay? Hope it's been helpful for you. Again, if you haven't liked and subscribed here on YouTube or over on Facebook, or follow us over on Telegram at JDubs Nuggets on Telegram. It's a little different over there. But Trade Maestro pretty much everywhere else. Follow us, like, and subscribe so you can get more updates. Go to our website, trademaestro.com. Sign up for our email list, and then you can get notifications that way as well. All right. Until next time, happy trading to all of you. We'll talk to you soon.